way, that's what literally hundreds of top Western analysts are saying. They confer with General Hamid Gul. General, we're running out of time. We've got one more segment coming up. I may try to keep you a bit longer, but I wanted to get into some other issues. We're also simulcasting on television. If I can have a document cam shot right here. Evidence Mumbai attackers were Anglo-American intel operatives. That's Kurt Nimmo in November of 2008 about the Mumbai attacks. Now we have December of last year, Times of London, Mumbai terror suspect David Headley was rogue U.S. agent. The Chicago Tribune went on to report he was the commander of the operation. The head of Indian counterterrorism said it was a Western op, but they killed him that day to shut him up. Here's another one. Chicago man charged in 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. Intelligence connection. So how did you know 2 years ago, day one, that this was a Western op that they tried to blame on you in Pakistan?
Well, I have an uncanny sixth sense about this because of my experience, because of the fact that I worked with the CIA and I know how their mind works. I can read their mind. For instance, I had said that this attack, 9/11 attack, was because of the internal cavity inside America itself. To date, they have not been able to come up with a charge sheet against Osama-bin-Laden. He should have been tried in absentia if they had enough evidence on him. Why have they not tried him in absentia?
General, I've got to stop you. This is too important. I want you to start over when we come back and talk about Osama bin Laden. Of course, CNN said that you had no evidence of that when bin Laden's on record saying he didn't do it. The CIA now admits 2 months ago that they created a fake bin Laden video. In fact, print me that Washington Post. It's Spy Talk. CIA created fake bin Laden video. Stay there. General Hamid Gul, our guest. We'll be right back. Okay, he's a retired 3-star general, so it is lieutenant general. Former head of Pakistani intelligence, General Hamid Gul. And he is with us today. And I have to tell you, I've researched this all in depth myself. It's been declassified, the CIA, Mossad, MI6 stage terror attacks. They're doing everything they can to get us into a full-bore war with Pakistan. Then they'll have to go in with a full invasion to get the nukes. And I mean, if you think that the Afghans are tough and hard to beat, the Pakistanis are just as tough or tougher and have nuclear weapons. But I'll get into that in a moment with General Gul. General Gul, I brought up the Mumbai attacks. It was later confirmed that that was run by Western intelligence, and you were getting into 9/11 being an inside job. Please spend some time on that.
Yeah, 9/11, they haven't given the evidence so far. And I think much hype was created. Now they don't even mention about Osama bin Laden. The latest statement is by General Petraeus. He said that he is so far away that whether he is alive or dead doesn't matter at all. Now that means they have forgotten about Osama bin Laden now, and they are out to destroy the Afghan nation and then come for Pakistan. From day one I said 9/11 was a pretext. Afghanistan is the lodging place, this is the staging point, and from there they will jump into Pakistan. And I fear that this is coming true. But in Pakistan, their overwhelming interest of both India and Israel, it's not America's interest, because America won't bother whether Pakistan has 30, 40 or 100 bombs. It makes no difference to America. We have no such hostility between us. In fact, we have been very fast friends in the past, and we still are friends. Anyway, the point is that Israel would simply not be able to digest Pakistan's nuclear program, nor the Indians. So Pakistan's nuclear program is one point which needs to be now resolved one way or another. Either they have to accept that Pakistan is a de facto nuclear power and should be entered into the nuclear club, because that's a reality. And the fact that they have not accepted it while India's nuclear capability has been accepted, that means they are still out to destroy it somehow. They can't reverse it and they cannot destroy it. Now that is where my understanding of Pakistan's ability, Pakistan's will to resist and its resilience comes into play. I can assure you there is a complete consensus in Pakistan on this one issue, that nuclear capability we have to protect, even if in the process we end up with a total destruction. Doesn't matter, but we will protect this capability of ours. It's a great asset for Pakistan. But my fear, Alex, is that if Pakistan is put to the corner and it is pushed against the wall, Pakistan, being an Islamic state, could also declare international jihad. Now, if that Islamic state declares international jihad, it becomes binding on the Muslims of the rest of the world to come out in support of jihad. Now, that is what will change the modern history altogether if that call is given. So let Pakistan not be taken lightly by the adversaries, by India, by Israel, or even by America. Pakistan has a potential, which is a very dangerous potential. We wouldn't like to do that. But if we have no other choice, if it is existentialist threat to us, then anything is possible. And it better be avoided by our adversaries.
General, I'm showing viewers Spy Talk, the issue from about 2 months ago in the Washington Post with a headline, CIA's unit, wacky idea, depicts Saddam as gay. But buried in the article, they admit that they made fake bin Laden videos. The famous bin Laden video is a fake. So bin Laden was writing letters saying he didn't do this after the attacks. Meanwhile, they use message boards and fake videos, and they admit it was a fake video. Why would the CIA arrogantly come out and admit they're growing the opium? Why would they arrogantly come out and brag that they are creating fake bin Laden videos? I mean, why are they so arrogant?
Well, this is the imperial arrogance, imperial hubris, which I think afflicts every nation which comes into that position where it stands at the pinnacle, and there is no one to destroy them but they themselves. Their own internal cavities destroy them, their own arrogance and their own sense of injustices. I mean, that is what destroys them. So I think this system is on self-destruct, unfortunately. Their status, somehow, they are not able to handle it properly, the sole superpower status, because there are lesser men. The leaders are lesser leaders. There are pygmies as far as intellectual capacity is concerned, as far as their moral equality is concerned. They are pygmies. This is the problem of the leadership. So I think while we in the third world countries usually cry about our leaders, I think poor America is also really bereft of the quality leadership that they deserve at this time.
General, stay there. Final segment with you coming up straight ahead. We'll talk more about World War III. Star General Hamid Gul, former head of Pakistani intelligence who led the forces to victory against the Soviet Bear. When you watch the films and read the documents about the Soviets massacring villages, carpet bombing villages, it's exactly what our criminal government's doing. The same corporations that have occupied Afghanistan using our military are occupying my country. They're waging war against my Bill of Rights, my Constitution, my children's future. I want my republic back. I want to be known as the land of the free, home of the brave, an example of goodness, not an example of evil. They lie to you. They give you fake bin Laden videos. They stage terror attacks. They say Saddam's got WMDs when he doesn't. And they want to start World War III, not just with Iran, but Pakistan. I concur with General Gul's analysis 100% from my own deep 18-hour-a-day research many days. Okay? We are going into World War III. And General Gul, you talked about how they want to cause the collapse of Pakistan, how they're funding radicals there, which has been admitted. They've been caught. And how they want Pakistan to have their back against a wall. So they have to declare an emergency jihad to protect themselves and call on aid, as Afghanistan did, so they can have what the PNAC documents and the Israelis and Dick-Cheney called for in the September 20th, 2000 Rebuilding America's Defenses PNAC document, a clash of civilizations. They want to force the American people into a bare-knuckle war to fully commit us. I believe they're going to set off nukes in the U.S. and blame it on Pakistan and Iran. I see them putting out this story to where the Americans will howl with pure rage. They will ship 3 million Americans over there, bloodthirsty, ready for absolute genocide. And so your people, my people, have to stand together against the New World Order, just like they want to put two pit bulls in a ring and have us kill each other. We don't need to do this. We need to be smart enough to avert this, and the evidence is clear. We are on the verge of them launching World War III, a clash between Christendom, what's left of it in the West, and the East, a war without end. General, your comments.
My comments are that there is no clash of civilization. This is a myth that has been created, unfortunately. There has to be meeting of civilization. And as far as Islam is concerned, why is it being looked upon as an enemy, as an adversary? Islam encompasses Christianity and Judaism. It is not an entity in itself, but actually it encompasses all the three religions of the book. So there has to be amity, peace among us, and everyone has to gain from it. And therefore, there is no need for the dark impulse in the American system. I won't say in the American people because they are so good. It is in the American system that dark impulse has to be removed, and it can only be removed by the American people. If they rise against this, like the moratorium movement back in the Vietnam days, when it picked up from Berkeley's campus and then it spread across the cities and villages of whole of America, it became the battle cry for American people that this was a useless war, this was a debilitating war, and we must quit as soon as possible, which they did. And of course, America still remained a great power, and eventually because of the Afghan blood, because the services of Pakistan and men like me, that America enjoys today the status of the sole superpower. Now, America is hell-bent, or that dark impulse in American system is hell-bent, that they destroy America's position as the sole superpower. So it has to be morally correct, and unfortunately, telling lies with regard to Iraq, telling lies with regard to 9/11, and telling lies now with regard to Bombay attack, everywhere it is lies, lies, and lies, nothing else. And that is not going to be helpful, because that is going to totally demolish the American position. American economy is in doldrums, but the generals of the Pentagon, they would want America to commit more forces in Afghanistan and elsewhere, and now they want to pick up fight with Iran, at the same time pick up fight with Pakistan. I don't know. They have to sit down, war game it, and if I am there, I will tell each one of them how wrong they are. There are lessons to be learned from military history. In Afghanistan, for instance, the spaces are not in their control. The victory or defeat is actually the outcome of interplay of three factors, which is very important. Now I'm talking as a professional soldier. The time, space, and relative strength. In Afghanistan, Americans have the watch and opposition has the time. The Mujahideen have the time. In Afghanistan, again, they have the spaces are with the opposition, and Americans are confined only to garrison town. More and more, they will be squeezed into the garrison town. And third factor, that of relative strength, agreed that America has firepower, but America does not have a willing, motivated manpower. Slowly, gradually, the American soldiers have started now asking, what are we here for? Why are we laying down our lives? And I think this is a terrible situation if it seeps into the minds of the soldiery. And I think before this really erupts, it's better for America, it is better for the world that they pull out of here and they abandon any notions of attacking Iran or coming for Pakistan's nuclear capability. They cannot pluck it out, and it can create a desperate Pakistan which could do anything. I'm not saying that Pakistan would do it, but I think there are possibilities and there are chances that Pakistan may actually have to, for its own existence, for its own honor, for its own well-being, it can go to the extreme limit, which would not be good for the countries who want to see Pakistan's nuclear capability destroyed and Pakistan cut to pieces. No, it will not happen. I can assure you this. And they better disabuse their minds and their plans of this kind of notion.